Most every restaurant is like family style. This is more like young people, college people coming. Any like dishes I think is good, and then for me I like it. I just like make up my own dishes, you know, like make up my own drink and everything. This is a little tapioca. This is the big tapioca. Most popular is the black one.
So Leilani, those drinks there are so hard to describe, but give it a shot.
Well, basically, it's kind of like a smoothie. You could either get a fruit smoothie or get tea, but they have these tapioca pearls. They're black, they're round, and then they are served in a big fat straw, so you could slurp up the drink and also the tapioca balls. And when you slurp up the balls, it's chewy. So it's kind of like a yin and yang kind of taste in your mouth. You have something cool and chewy, something, yes, unexpected.
So, Michael, you were there for lunch one day.
Yeah, my wife and I went there for lunch. Someone had mentioned, oh, you're going to Joey's? Try the bubble tea and the bubble drink. Yeah. So they bring it over, and there's stuff floating in there, and I could have sworn the bubble was going to be just air bubbles.
Well, she made that drink up herself. Typically, in Taiwan and China, they put tapioca in their teas and coffees and drinks and stuff. So this black tapioca is actually from Taiwan, and she came up with the idea, rather than putting it with tea and milk, she was going to mix it up with fruit smoothies. So it's kind of her own little invention, I guess.
Really colorful. All the fruits, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it really made the atmosphere. It was really fun because where they make the smoothies and the freezes, all the fruits, the mangoes, the melons, the bananas, are all up on the wall, and they're climbing the wall to get the fruit as you order it.
So, Henry, what about you? How was your meal?
You know, we went on a Friday night. It was pretty crowded, and a couple of people walked in, and they signed up on a clipboard. And my wife was out on the sidewalk, and she's like banging on the window. She says, sign in. I'm like, what?
Thank God she was there with you.
And then I realized that the people were real friendly there. They says, no, you got to sign in yourself. I said, oh, this is kind of different. So you actually sign in the clipboard yourself, and then they'll call the name out. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I would go back for dinner. I don't know if I'd go back again for lunch. There is no wait area, so I can't imagine going there in the dead of winter when it's cold in a Chicago winter because there's no place to stand. Yeah. And for lunch, there was a bit of a wait, so we wandered around Chinatown Square and came back later. But like Henry said, at that point, they called our name off the checklist. But at first, we thought it's kind of a long wait, and the tables are just crowded on top of each other. That being said, the food was great.
So, Michael, tell us what you ate when you went to Joey's.
Started out with the fried dumplings, then had the kung pao chicken, and it was great. It was a lot of flavor, great sauce, really good.
And Leilani, what about you?
I had japchae, which is Korean noodles, and with some meat and vegetables in it. Very good. And I also had chicken and mushrooms and rice in this little bamboo boat. And it was interesting because it came out and you kind of have to dig your way out. It was more like a steamed casserole, so it's like a rice casserole. And for an appetizer, we had Vietnamese spring rolls.
And Henry?
Well, we had a gigantic bowl of hot and sour soup for two, and which I took a lot of it home, as a matter of fact. And we had fried shumai, which was kind of interesting because typically it's steamed. And fried was pretty good. We had lobster meatballs, which they use that imitation lobster meat, which I hate, you know. But it was okay.
What do you hate about it?
I hate the fact that it was sort of deceiving, you know. On the menu, when they say lobster, you expect lobster, and it came out the imitation lobster, which, you know, wasn't a big crisis, but it was okay.
It had a huge menu. The menu is almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just Korean or Chinese or Vietnamese, it's everything.
Right.
I mean, it's about 100 pages. The first 20 pages are photos. The other 80 pages are the food.
Right.
And then I went for lunch, and the last page is the lunch special.
And the pictures that show the different dishes available didn't specify whether they were Korean or Japanese or, hey, it looked good in the picture, I'm going to order it, you know, and it worked.
Yeah.
It
Well, the
worked.
little is Vietnamese, but she does blend a lot of Chinese flavors, Thai flavors, I mean, all sorts of Asian food, which I think is pretty interesting for a restaurant in Chinatown to do. It's a little bit cutting edge.
Definitely.
We're
I
down
think it had a little bit more of a young, hip, urban feel to it
Oh, definitely.
than what you would see in Chinatown.
And it was kind of similar. We've had a lot of French bistros on the show before where they're really crowded and tight and there's really loud and a lot of action going on. And do you think that invigorates the environment a little bit, where it makes the place more exciting?
It seemed very chaotic. It looked like, wow, they really don't have a system here. But somehow it worked, you know. I thought, oh, this guy forgot about us. But yet he didn't. Here he comes with the food, you know, things like that. It was chaos, yet it had order to it somehow. They worked it out.
Okay, Leilani, this was your find in the heart of Chinatown. Let us know, sum it up for us.
Well, if you're looking for a place with fabulous drinks and something unique and exotic and fresh, check out Joy Yee's. It's young, hip, different than what you would generally see in Chinatown.
And Michael?
Delicious food. Go for the drinks, stay for the food. Grab a drink to go to take out with you.
And Henry, what about for you?
Definitely go there. Maybe pick an off night where it isn't as crowded. You may be more comfortable. If you want to feel young again, go ahead and go there, because it is a younger crowd and it's a lot of fun.
So you can find the Fountain of Youth at Joy Yee's Noodle Shop, which is at 2159 South China Place in Chicago, 312-328-0001. It's open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week from 11 a.m. until 10:30 p.m. for that late night bubble tea. Reservations are accepted on weekdays, but not on the weekends. You're going to have to stand online and check out the square, where the average tab at Joy Yee's is about $12 a person.